Hi, everybody. Robin here at Toadstool Tarot. Welcome back. First off, beautiful day outside in New York, and I want to apologize. I'm hoping you can't hear it, but if you can hear whirring blades outside my window, it's these obnoxious helicopters. And the reason for that is probably whenever there are protests in the park, they have helicopters overhead, and I don't know if it's the police or the news people or what, but it's so obnoxious. And you know, today is No King's Day. Some of you might be experiencing that in the cities where you live. And I believe there is a protest, unless it's over already, in Midtown. But sometimes there are some overlapping protests or stragglers in my neighborhood down Washington Square. So maybe there's an alternate protest or something going on. I don't know. That's the only thing I can guess by all those noisy helicopter blades. So if you hear them, I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do about it. You'll just have to bear with it. And hopefully I'm louder than the blades are. So let me welcome Marilyn's Tarot Take. Hello. And Kristen Louise from 9 Worlds Tarot. What happened to the other 8 worlds? SRAI Tarot, MA the Gray, and SCB. So today we are doing, I've been interspersing my Clearout shelf by shelf with interviews and other things. But at the moment, we're back to the shelves. And I believe today is shelf number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I believe, yes, it's 5. So without further ado, let's get to it. So first on my list of things to go or not to go in my Clearout, I happen to like the artwork of Nicoletta Ciccoli. And I did get her tarot, and I didn't relate to it as a tarot, but I liked the artwork. And then this oracle came out, and I actually thought, oh, maybe I should have that too, because I like her artwork, even though I don't use oracle decks. So I got it, and actually the packaging in this one is nicer than the tarot box. Glossy 2-part thumb index box, and there's like a little ribbon pullout in the box, and a guidebook. Really nice packaging, and I actually like these card backs better than the backs on the tarot deck. Really pretty. But as you know, if you've watched me before, I'm not really a fan of oracle decks. And also, these are super glossy cards, and most glossy decks I'm not into either. But one of the things I liked about this deck was it doesn't have words on the images, but in some sense, that's a little bit of a disadvantage if you're using or reading oracles, depending on how you work with them. Like if you just go from the images, it's great. If you need some help with some keywords or phrases, when you're reading an oracle. With this one, you've got to dive into the guidebook, which I don't really like having to rely on or depend on the text in a guidebook in order to use a deck. It's sort of like the cards feel like they should be self-explanatory. Like you can lose the book, lose the box, but if you got the cards, you're good. And this is not the case here. This is like you need to keep the box to keep them all safe, and you need to keep the book to know what you're reading. But it does have some pretty images. Sorry for the glare because they are kind of glossy. And if you know her artwork, some of these images will seem familiar to you. And she does beautiful artwork. But looking at this, I bought it to be kind of completist, because I had the tarot deck and I thought, oh, fear of missing out. If I don't have this, I'll regret it later. And I looked through it maybe twice, and it's been sitting on my shelf ever since, and I've not used it. And I think the tarot deck is representative enough. I don't even use the tarot deck, but that's on another shelf, and we'll get to that at some point. But I don't think I need to hang on to this, actually. I think probably I would be very happy if I had a craving to look at her images, to just Google her name online and click the tab that says images and look at some of the online images. I don't think I need it in a deck. So I'm going to let this one go. First one out of the gate is going in my Clearout bag. Now, at the end of this series, which is quite a while off, quite a few weeks away, I will be going through the Clearout bag, and it will be my chance to withdraw pull decks back that I've had second thoughts about, or finalize it and say, hey, these are available. But if anybody's interested in any of these as I go along, make a note of it or get in touch with me. We'll see if I can work something out. I don't generally like to ship abroad, but possibly we'll talk. So let's see. Anybody else popped in? Saskia's here. Zohair Bahir, hello. Next on the list is, this is a beautiful box. This is the Green Menagerie, a little bit of an oversized box. And it's one of those magnetic ones. This is really quality production. And it's got a really hefty guidebook. I don't know if you're familiar with this. I think I first saw this shown on Deanne's channel, Blue Crescent Tarot, I think. I'm having a little brain fart moment here. The book is pretty good. I mean, there's full illustrations of the cards on every page of the book, full page ones, opposite text describing the interpretation of the card. The thing about this one is it feels like also there's a kind of a little sort of like a velveteen recessed holder for the cards and a ribbon. And I love the card backs. The deck's a little bit thick, a little thicker than I like, but not unworkable. I love the backs, and I love that it's already edged in this kind of dark green. I think it's green, yeah. The thing about this deck, though, is it almost seems like a curated deck from different artists, because the style of each piece is so very different. They look like they were created by many different artists. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I usually like a certain sort of consistency in the artwork of decks when I use them. But this deck is such a curiosity and of such high quality that I don't think I'm quite ready to let go of this yet, even though I never use it. So I'm going to put this back on my shelf, and I might revisit it in 6 months and decide then, do I want to let it go yet or not? But it's really a beautiful, as I said, quality deck. It's very nice. So hanging on to that one. Not sure why. I mean, if I was really strict about it, I'd let it go for non-use. But it's such a pretty and nicely produced deck. I'm hanging on to it. Next is an Oracle deck, another Oracle deck. I don't have a lot of these, but I do have a few. SCB says, I love anything green, and those backs are lovely. This is by Boris Indrikov. It's called the In Dreams Oracle Deck and Guidebook. And I think that the creator was more of an artist and less of an oracle or tarot person. I think it was just, again, it's a nice hard box with some index here, 2-part. And I don't remember what channel I saw this on. It does have a little guidebook, but I think as I recall, the guidebook, it's not real thick, is not that helpful. Yeah, the guidebook, each one has a couple of keywords and like a one-line quote from some famous person or something that for instance, card number 1 says play, air, external events. A message will change your life. And a quote from Charles Darwin, it is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent, but the most responsive to change. Okay. I bought this because when I saw this online, I thought the artwork was like incredible. I don't like Oracle size cards, for one thing. I don't know why they're that big, but they are. The backs are nice enough design. It's not that many cards. Usually Oracle decks don't have that many anyway. I don't know that if it says on the box anywhere how many cards it is. It's probably like 35 or 40, somewhere in there. And the images may not communicate real well. I think they're numbers, but no words on the cards again. And beautiful art, but not really. I don't think if they're that intuitive artistically to read without a book. And the book itself is not that helpful either. I think I just was like taken by the ornamentation in these illustrations. And it's almost like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like a cross between pre-Raphaelite or Art Nouveau and what's that punk, psycho, not psycho punk. You know what I'm talking about. Scientific kind of sci-fi punk. What do they call that? I always find myself at a loss for words when I do these lives. Something I'm thinking about just went out of my head. And somebody in the chat, steampunk. Thank you, Madam Maru. Yes, steampunk. But I mean, they're pretty, but do I use them? Do I need them? No. I think I probably have gotten my enjoyment out of looking at the cards a couple of times, and that's enough. So I think I can let this one go, called In Dreams. Oh, hey, Zach came in, the Tiger's Abyss. Hey, welcome. And Madame Maru's House of Cards. Yes. So that one's going. I've been doing pretty well, um, week by week, shelf by shelf. I've been generally eliminating about 7 out of every 20 decks, so that's not bad. Let's see what's next. Oh, this is an oddball one. This one I found out through Richie on Longman Tarot's channel. It's the Robert Likojewski Tarot. I don't know how to pronounce that. It's, again, a hard box with a thumb insert, 2-part. And I think his is a different edition from mine. I think the colors of the backs are different. This is a glossy deck, and it is gilded, and I'm not generally big on gilding. This is weird, this one. I don't remember which country this is from. Somewhere in Middle Europe. The text on the box is all foreign. I don't know if it's Hungarian or Lithuanian. Who knows? I have no idea. But anyway, the cards are really interesting. And you can tell they have Roman numerals on the cards, or otherwise you can kind of count the elements and figure out what it is. Obviously, that's strength. And there we've got pentacles, temperance. You know, you don't really need the English, if you know your tarot. The images are so identifiable. Oops, don't look. Lovers. This is 6 of Cups. 2, yeah. And I kind of like the figures are kind of elongated humans, sort of, or humanoid, that have a weird kind of almost alien quality to them or something. The facial expressions are really kind of interesting. And again, this is one I never draw out and I never use, but it's so unique. I think I'm going to hang on to this one. Also, I think it took me a long time to get it because it was shipped from Europe, and those things, particularly from the Middle East or Far East, take forever to come through the mail and all the various delivery services. So they're really kind of a pain in the ass to get hold of. But this has some really striking images, and I haven't seen these in a while, and I like the look of them. Now the cards are a little oversized. Oh, let me grab a comparison card. So you can see little wider, little taller than standard. But I kind of like this in a weird way. I mean, I think if it was cardstock, I liked better because it's sort of stiff. I mean, people will like this, but it's not my favorite cardstock. The cardstock were a little bit more flexible, a little thinner, and more standard size. I might be more apt to draw it out and use it more often. But it's kind of interesting. So I think I'm going to hang on to this. And hey, Donna. Donna Riedler. So, yeah, that one I'm keeping for a while longer. Ooh, this one is really difficult. This is so difficult, people. I love classic art. I love pre-Raphaelite art. I love Art Nouveau. Oh my God. I got this when it was like almost out of print for 35 bucks. It's the Tarot of Delphi. The lamination on the box is kind of bubbled here. I don't know if you can see, came kind of unglued under the surface, but it's not that big a deal. It doesn't have a thumb index. Oh yeah, well there's a little sort of triangular thing. Tarot of Delphi. This is so sought after by so many people. Again, it is a deck where the cards are a little bit oversized, a little taller, a little wider than standard. It's got a nice guidebook with, I think, it gives you credits to the painter, the year the painting was painted, because it's compiled or curated from famous artworks. And it sort of describes what's happening in each image in terms of helping to interpret the cards. This seems like it should be gilded, but it's not. And they are glossy cards, pretty backs. This is one that, God, this is such a struggle. This is a deck that I've considered parting with about 3 or 4 times and just have held on to it because if I ever have second thoughts about it, I would have to spend a fortune to get it back. And how would I determine how much to charge for to let it go? I think it goes for a lot of money. Kristen says you could get a lot of money for that. Zach, one I would not feel guilty getting it back up for, but I refuse to because I think others should be able to have a chance to work with it. As much as I love the paintings, I didn't find, for some reason, I love this image. Is that the hermit? Yeah, I love it. Talk about tiny house living. This little hermit lives in a big oak earthenware jug. I've never been able to work with this. I don't know why. I think some of the images, as beautiful as they are, don't really or didn't really feel like they worked that well with the labels. Last time I tried to use it, of course, that's been quite a while, and I've come quite a distance since then in my practice. So maybe I could work better with it now. I don't know. Like I said, I think I've almost parted with this about 3 or 4 times and then like held back. And I think only because of that, I think I'm going to hang on to this, maybe 6 months longer. However, if anybody wants to make me an offer and it's an outrageously high offer, I might change my mind. I might be tempted by the money, but I'm not letting this go for what I paid for it, 35. No. It's out of print and people want it. I'd almost be willing to trade this for a majestic earth, which I kind of wanted, but I don't even know would I use that if I had it. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to hang on to that a bit. So if you want to make me an offer, get in touch. the Trionfi della Luna, the original one, and there are various colorations of this. Kristen, I've sold 2 out-of-print decks, but I couldn't bring myself personally to spend a ton on an out-of-print deck. Miss Hinkle just needs to come back and reprint Delphi. Yeah. Have you ever regretted letting them go, Kristen? Oh. So of all the one, I think this was the first deck by Patrick Valenza that I actually liked, because I didn't jump on the bandwagon of Deviant Moon. And I liked the fact that these had sort of a antique-y looking color scheme, like parchment paper or something. And I like the way, as for a Marseille deck, that this was done. Am I doing this upside down? I can't even tell. No, I guess not. See, that's the thing about some of these cards. Can you even tell which? That looks right, but where was that one? No. Oh, there. Should the sword be up or should the sword be down? I don't know. I don't know. Does it even matter? I don't know. I don't use reversals. I still think Deviant Moon is overrated, but there are some oracles I'd like to try from Valenza. And I think I have them all, but we'll get to them in coming weeks. The one Spolia I couldn't connect with, a Majestic Earth, I refused to use because it was too nice. Huh. So it was so nice you got rid of it, or it's so nice that it's stored away on a shelf? I'm not fond of his pattern that he uses on the backs. I mean, it's okay. It's a repetitive pattern, but it's not like my favorite design or anything. But there you have it. And when he did this, redid this as a fully illustrated Triumphi, as opposed to or I should say fully scenic, as opposed to a pip deck, I like that one better and find that much easier and more accessible for me to use. I mean, I can read Marseille, but it's not a favored option for me. So this is one that I don't even know. Is this still available? Probably. I'm kind of on the fence about this, so I think I could let it go, but I think I'm not really being mercenary about this. So I think I'll hold on to it a little longer. This is another one that I reconsider in 6 months. Next, we have the Tarocco Soprafino. That's kind of amazing how light this deck is. Well, it's a little box. The card, oh, it's beautiful. It's from the, which series is this? It doesn't say. I think, Anima Antiqua series from Los Garabal. It's got one of those beautiful tops in a sturdy little box. And I actually love how dinky the cards are. I mean, they're not minis. It's not very much of a guidebook, but do you really need one if you know your Marseille or pips? I don't think I modified this. I think it came with rounded corners. Some of these Marseille ones had sharp corners that I modified, but I think this one came this way. And just to show you the size comparison to a normal card, It's considerably more petite. But still, it's not a mini or anything like that. It's a comfortable size in the hands. I love this size. Like, I think it's smaller than Fournier, but I like this and Fournier decks in terms of the size. Uh, so nice. I sold it. I don't keep decks I won't use. Um, I got one of the last slightly irregular copies of Majestic Earth, and I don't use it a ton, but will always keep it because it reminds me of home. And I don't have any decks featuring landscape paintings or anything. It's like not really my thing. I don't even know if I could work with it because I like to see visuals of human beings doing things, and that one doesn't have them doing that. So I'm not sure. I mean, maybe just for the sake of it being different, it might be something different for me to have in my collection. I don't know. Hey, Will, good morning. Better late than never. I'll go back and watch. I like the smaller decks. They're easier for me to shuffle. Yeah, I don't know how easy this one is. The cards are a little on the stiff side, but it's that, Italian style illustration. And I think I don't have that many classical or traditional Italian decks. Of the ones I have, this one is my favorite. And I think it kind of it's reminiscent of oh dear, I can't remember the name of it, the one that came in the green box, mass market, which I believe is somewhere in my blue Clearout bag. So I like this better than that one. I think that one might have had multiple languages on it, and this one doesn't. The details really, really beautiful on the imagery. The engravings are really, yeah. I don't know if this is still in print or not, but Soprafino. I was so impressed with this when I got it that I bought an extra copy and gifted it to a friend as well. I'm going to hang on to that. Next, this is a little bit tricky. Another of that kind of box. This is the Dante Tarot. Now, this is a weird deck because it does come with a guidebook. The problem for me with the Dante Tarot is it seems to follow a different system, and I've never read Dante. I don't know much of anything about Dante, and I feel like I'm at a bit of a loss for that in terms of using the deck. They are borderless cards. They're glossy. Don't mind the back. It's kind of thick card stock, sort of stiff card stock. There's something about I'm not sure who the illustrator is, but I like the style of the illustration. There was another Dante deck that I think ended up in my Clearout bag that is much more rare and out of print. This one, artwork by Guido Zabordi Marchesi. I don't know where I know that name from. I think I must have another deck that has his illustrations. I'm not thrilled with the maroon red label borders at the bottom, but they do make the numbers easier to see. And I can still read with this, even if I don't know Dante, if I just sort of treated it as an RWS, but that's kind of not really the way this was meant to be used, I don't think. Also, I'm not sure how I feel about The palette I always found a little bit off-putting. It has a little bit of a southwestern desert feel to me. It's a lot of like earthy red rocks and sandy desert, and a lot of yellow ochre, brown, and tan, um, some grays and blues. I don't know if there are any greens in here. I like the imagery, but there's something a little bit off-putting about it. But again, I'm not sure I'm ready to let this one go. Marie Kondoing some more. Aspasia Rising. Hi, Beth. I love my. Oh, Will has this, I guess. I love my Dante Tarot, and I'm writing a guide for it, more detailed based on his writing. See, that would be helpful. This doesn't inspire me enough to want to read his work. I just kind of like the artwork of this deck. So, another one I'm holding on to. Okay, here's one. Excuse me a second. I'm much better from my cold of a couple weeks ago. Now I'm just into my routinely sniffy nasal situation. This is, I don't even have this open to show you. I have this somewhere else. This is a backup copy of my early favorite deck, which was the RWS 2.0. Shrink wrap, not open. Since it's a backup copy, oh my God, it's not even a favorite anymore. So do I need a backup copy? Ooh, I'm going to put that just aside until I can find my original copy and then reconsider, do I want to keep a backup or not? The thing I loved about this one is I love the coloring on it and the detail of the line work. Look, you can even see there's like an eagle shape or something on the bag here. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but the line work here is so sharp, sharpest of any deck I've seen. It's by James Rickleff. He used this italic font, which some people don't like. And unfortunately, he's got this hefty, copyright on it from 2018 when he did it. But it was a favorite deck at the time. I think it's still one of, what's her name? What's her name that has a channel? She's in Ireland. Oh my God, I can't think of her name. She's got a couple little dogs in Ireland. Who am I talking about? Anyway, I turned her onto this, and I think this might be her favorite RWS still. But I've found others since then that I like better. But anyway, it's a backup copy. Like I said, I'm not gonna put it in the sale bag yet, and I'm not gonna put it back on the shelf yet. I'm just gonna put it to one side, and hopefully within after I'm done here, I'll go looking for my original copy, and then I'll determine what I want to do about that. Next one is, how are we doing time-wise? 1:39. Ooh, moving fast. Next one is the Pamela Coleman Smith Rider-Waite playing card deck. This, again, comes in one of those little triangle thumb thing, two-part sturdy boxes. And I'm not sure why I have this. I think what I liked about this was it does have a dinky little white book. I think what I liked about this is that it's like kind of playing card size, but it's a tarot. I do like that. Um, and it's a combination deck. You can either pull out the majors and play with it as a playing card deck, or you can leave them in and use it as a tarot deck. And it's, got the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith images on it. It's not like I'm really apt to play card games with friends with it, but you can see in the corner the way these are. I guess it could be a little confusing. If you're playing cards, you have to know that the Seven of Pentacles is a Seven of Diamonds. So I guess that's maybe not so good. And I notice here they have the four element symbols under the major arcana cards. And so it's kind of fun, kind of interesting. Don't know if it's something I need to keep, but I do like this design of the box, and it's like a linen kind of feel to the box. I love sort of traditional looking playing cards. It's odd that they didn't put it on like linen stock like that. I don't know if I showed you the backs. Really nice pattern on the backs. But again, it's one of those US Games things where even though they try to be subtle about it, they snuck in the copyright there, which still bugs me. Even if they try to hide it, they've still got a copyright on it. But not sure about this one either. I think because of the novelty of it, I'll hang on to it for a while. But this is another one of those, let's revisit that in 6 months. What's next? Let's do this one. This one's got a great box. This was off Etsy, I think. From View Monde Express. It's a 2-part box. It doesn't have any kind of help there. You have to rely on the weight to get the lid off. Sturdy box. It is the tea-stained tarot. Another sort of black and white version of Rider-Waite-Smith, but it's on like kind of parchment paper instead of white. So, and it has a linen stock feel to it. So I kind of like that. Do I need it? Probably not. Will I keep it? Probably will. I do have another black and white one, which I think I showed last week or the week before, to show off Pixie's line work without the coloring. And the only difference really between that and this is the cardstock here is a little stiffer, and it's on a beige background instead of stark white. I mostly kind of love the linen feel and the box. The box is like so nicely done. I don't even know if you can see a kind of a rounded corners or edges to the box that make the tactile sensation of holding the box really pleasant, like no sharp edges, just really nice. So yeah, I'll hang on to that. Let's see, what else do we have here? Well, while we're in RWS mode, I think this is maybe next to last one of those. Conrad Stain did Pam's Old. And this one, it's on Make Playing Card stock, which I love. And beautiful back design. I love that kind of antique-y back design and that color. And then he did, it's Pixie's deck, but stripped out the skies to all white skies. I'm not sure. Not sure the point of that, really. I mean, I think he kind of basically took his what's his famous deck called that has the sort of textured background skies and just stripped out that layer and let the rest of the artwork stand on its own with like a blank background. You probably all know what I mean. I can't think. Do I have one handy I can know the name of? Again, it's slipping my mind, but somebody helpful in the chat will tell me. Oh my God, I skipped CS Tarot. Thank you, Donna. Nice tartan, says Madame Maru. Who printed the tea stain? That was View Monde Express, and I found it, I think, on Etsy. Sorry, I've missed so many comments. Mitered. I think we're talking about the edge of the box. I have one from Tarot Dark Forest that just shows the line work. The cardstock's unusual, but feels really old. It's like reading on sepia, easier on the eyes. Oh. Do they print C on the cards? Oh, why do they print copyrights on the cards? Yeah, I don't know. Did somebody else pop in? Rolf. Hi, Rolf. Oh, Kristen's got to run. Okay. I don't know if I missed anybody else. So anyway, yeah, here you get, again, it's one of those, I don't have nearly the number of RWS variants that Simon has, but I probably have at least 20. And do I need them all? No, I'm starting to pare them down a little bit, but I'm not sure about this one yet. I do like it. I really love the backs. So, I don't know. I think since I've made some space, this is another one of those revisit in 6 month ones. Okay, next is the Medieval Tarot. This one is Lo Scarabeo. I don't know if you've seen this one. I wonder if this might be by the same illustrator that did the Dante deck. Let me just check. No. Oh, yes, it is. It is. It's the same guy that did the Dante deck. I like this deck. And this is a Lo Scarabeo that they didn't have multi-languages on. They replaced with numbers and symbols. I don't like the backs. And I want to say this might have been previously printed or reprinted with a different back design. Copyright on the cards is a complaint as old as Tarot Tube itself. U.S. Games loves to copyright as much as possible. So I think I might have used this on my very first live stream. I had done some pre-recorded stuff, but the first time I went live in September of, I don't know how many years ago it's been now, 6 or something, I wanted a new deck that I could walk through and share in the live stream and pick this one up. You know what? Now that I'm looking at it, not sure I love it as much as I did when I first got it. Oh, this is tricky because looking at it now, I think I'm ready to let it go, but I wasn't before. So, mm. Ooh, that is a nice hermit. I might hold on to it just for the hermit card. That's real. It's like Father Time. That is a really good hermit card. I don't like all this stuff. What is that one? Four of what? Oh, Four of Pentacles. Mm, this one's up in the air. I think after we go off the air, sorry folks, I'm going to look through this a card at a time and reach my decision there if it goes into the bag or stays. So, along with the RWS 2.0, I'm going to stick this on the side and give it more careful consideration. Do you have the medieval Scapini, Robin? No, I don't. Along similar lines, this is the Golden Tarot of the Renaissance. I hear noise in my kitchen area, but I can't tell. I have a mouse, and I put out traps. Hang on a second. Oh, I'm back. I just stepped on my bag. I hope I didn't damage any of the decks that I'm wanting to get rid of. So when I hear noise over there, sometimes I can't tell if I have a mouse or if it's the pigeons on the ledge outside my kitchen window, because they also scurry around and make noise. They're on the outside though. And I haven't caught any mice in traps, but I also have this liquid called rodent sheriff or something that's like a mint scented thing that's supposed to like repel them. The thing is, you spray and then the scent wears off in a couple of days and then they seem to come back. So I don't have a good solution for ridding myself of the mice, but I'm dealing with it. I only have like one stray one that I know of, and he doesn't crawl into my sleeping area, so I think I'm okay. Anyway, sidetrack, sorry. To me, your medieval deck and the Scapini give similar vibes, but I wonder how you would like the art in comparison. Okay. I do like these with the gold foiling on them. Again, I don't like the back design on this one, but some of the cards, ooh, I love that card. Isn't that gorgeous? I think that might be, which card is that? It's Wands, but which Wands? Is it the Ace of Wands? See, the tricky thing about this that I don't like is it's one of those decks that's got the multiple languages down the side, so it's not symmetrical. Oh, it's a real struggle. And I think this must be the Ace of Wands, but I'm not sure. It doesn't have a number on it. Oh, yes, it does. Up there in the top corner. One. So yeah, Ace of Wands. Okay. This does have some really pretty images on it. I think for me, the big deterrent is the multiple languages down one side. Nice devil. I think I can live with this a little while longer. Don't worry, folks. There'll be at least one more I think I'm letting go, but I think I'll hang on to this one. 156. Top corner has a 1. Yeah, there you go. Thanks, Zach. Yeah, I'll hang on to that. Here I have, this is my favorite deck, my current favorite deck that has been my current favorite for the last year. It's the Manuscript of Initiations Tarot. I found it on Etsy from, I think, the Ukraine or something. And I liked it so much, I bought like 4. It was cheap too. So I bought like 4 copies. So I had like an original and a backup. And I gifted one to Simon. So I still have 2 shrink wrapped unopened ones. But I love this so much that I'm keeping this. even though I've got, what did I say? I had 4, right? Gave one to Simon, so I have one I'm using and 2 backups. So I've got 3 copies of this basically. So if one gets damaged, I got not only 1 backup but 2 backups. But I mean, this was really reasonably priced. I think it was like $15 or something crazy like that. But I love this deck. I love it so much. It's a pip deck. I use it all the time. This ain't going nowhere. I won't say never about buying additional copies, but the price was so cheap. That's why I bought multiple backups. And if I could still find it on Etsy for $15, $17 or whatever, I might even order some more. I don't know. I just love it that much. So there's that. The Art Nouveau, Golden Art Nouveau Tarot, another one with gilding on it. Now, I also have the mini version of this, which I believe, to my disappointment, did not have the gilding on it. But this one, and it doesn't have gilded edges or anything. I like the back design a lot, although it's reversible, and I don't use, or is it? No, it's not reversible. I don't use reversals. But I mean, it has a little bit of a kind of a more close-up variation of the Rider-Waite-Smith kind of setup. I like the gold embellishment. It's not one I use, and I think the question is should I keep the regular size or should I keep the mini or both? Not really sure. Or should I keep neither? I think, though, what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to keep this for now. No urgency on letting this one go. Well, there's no urgency really on any of them, but I was trying to make some shelf space, so I'm not sharing my bed with decks, that I can get decks on the shelves. So that one's going to stay a little while longer. Now, this is a big one. This is one that I was inspired by Simon, and I can't even remember the name of this, but I'll know it when I open it. It came in a bag, special bag. Ugh. Oh, I think it was printed in Japan. It's called the JK Tarot, and I think there are two different versions of this. It also comes in a box. Look how new it looks, because I think I only opened it once to do a flip through. Boy, it even feels crisp at the top. I don't know why I bought this. I think I bought it because of the novelty, and I sort of like the idea um, of the Japanese kind of adopting um, the tradition of Rider-Waite-Smith and kind of doing their thing with it. So it was sort of like redrawn pixie art, which do I want it? Do I need it? Do I care? I don't know. Because this has been sitting on the shelf since I got it in that bag, I thought, oh, I'm going to let this one go. And now I'm not sure. But I think since I hadn't paid any attention to it since I got it, and I got it mostly to be sort of like completist, or I had sort of fear of missing out, I bought it. I don't know that I need to keep this. I actually, I prefer Pixie's art to these weird kind of variations. So it has a little bit of a feel of the hoi polloi too. Jeez. Yeah, I think I'm going to let this one go. This is one that I may or may not regret letting go, but I think I'm going to let it go. I have a feeling that out of sight, out of mind, I won't miss it at all, because I really haven't, like I said, I haven't used it since I did a walkthrough, and that was what, a year ago or something, or many months. Oh, it's got a weird little, oh, that's why. There was some kind of paper insert, and that was in the bag. I was trying to get it in the box. So that one's going, I think. I'm putting it in the blue bag anyway. Hi, Jane. I'm not a fan of that sun card, though. Do not like the strength card. Really beautiful deck. Hello, Maria. Hello. Okay, we're down to the last three, and then I'll let you go. Now, these are all by a guy whose artwork I really like and whose name I often forget, Giuliano Costa. You guys will know these. I don't even know if I need to show them to you. He did the Mystical Tarot. These are all Lo Scarabeo. The Pre-Raphaelite Tarot. And the Jack-o'-lantern Tarot. These are all mass market. I believe they're all still available. And I do think his artwork is beautiful. But I don't even think I'll open these boxes to show you. I'm sure you're familiar with all these, and You can also see full walkthroughs on my channel. So just to let you all go out to recess and play, I'm going to end it here. But yeah, I'm gonna hang on to these. Although if I had to choose one to keep and get rid of the other two, I'd probably keep the pre-Raphaelite and let the mystical and the jack-o'-lantern go. Actually, I do want to open them because I want to show you the backs. So that's the back of the pre-Raphaelite. Which I like. That's the back of the mystical, which I don't like. But I do kind of like the setup on the front, the way the borders are. As opposed to, I didn't show you the pre-Raphaelite borderless. And the jack-o'-lantern, yeah, it's okay. This is one everybody drags out now around this time of the year. And it's funny too, because I think it came out last year or the year before, a couple of years, I think. But they didn't release it in time for Halloween, which was bizarre. I think it actually didn't become available to order until like the week after Halloween or something like that. Really, really bad marketing. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys go and see you all next week with, as far as I know, that will be shelf number 6. And I threw them into the bag instead of setting them aside. So I don't know how many decks. Let's see, how many did I get rid of this week? 1, 2, 3. Only 3? Must have been more than that. Well, at least 3. Yeah, not as good a Clearout as usual, but they can't all be winners. Some shelves I get more use out of than others too. So see you all next time. Bye. Take care. Have a great week.